afternoon. I am Guangxi, and now I am here in Leye County of Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region. And behind me, that's the Shenying Sinkhole. Some of the experts have been mapping here, and this is a standard sinkhole. This sinkhole might unveil the mystery about the other sinkholes. We gathered so many experts to have a closer look and study of this sinkhole, and we have been following these scientists and follow closely their research results. And this is a working place for those scientists and for our CMG reporters. Leye County is known as the Museum of Sinkholes. Within 20 kilometers, there are scattered 29 sinkholes. Those sinkholes are a big family, and we have a short video for you to have more information about the sinkholes. Because it is home to a big family of sinkholes. And the biggest sinkhole here is called the Wei Sinkhole. It is 600 meters from the east to the west and 400 meters from the west to the east. And it occupies for about 96,000 square meters, ranking number 1 in the world. It harbors thousands of different animal and herbal species. In addition, there are some other family members of the sinkholes, for example, Shenmu Sinkhole and Chuandong Sinkhole, Luomeidong Sinkhole, with about 296 different lotus-shaped sinks. And I'm not bluffing here. The Leye County boasts the world-class sinkholes. We also have some scientific investigation bases here. Many of the scientists come here for the investigation, so we invite you to join us here in the sinkholes. Since we have known something about the family of sinkholes, now let's learn more about Shenying Sinkhole. Allow me to introduce one of our researchers here. Judging from the costumes, you know that he's able to go anywhere. And what is inside his backpack? Let's have a look inside. Those are necessary instruments. This is a safety belt. We need all sorts of ropes to climb up. Our speakers, the backup ropes, the lamps, and some snacks, for example, the dried grapes, just in case we are hungry. When we are climbing up or going down, we need a lot of safety ropes and some other equipment to protect ourselves. For example, those ropes are necessary supportive instruments. So no matter how deep is the sinkhole, we could rely on those equipment. Yes, basically those ropes would allow us to go to the bottom of the sinkholes. It is said that the sinkhole is about 192 meters deep. Yes. How deep have you gone to? We've gone to the bottom of the sinkhole at around 150 meters deep down. And how much time does it take to go down that far? It takes about 40 minutes. If you have poor strength, it takes about a little bit more than 1 hour. But if you are physically strong, it's only about 40 minutes. Could you please introduce the costume you're wearing? You look very handsome here. It belongs to our team. And we have the helmet, the lamp on the helmet. Those are all the customized costumes. So those costume and designs are the most important protective suits. Yes, and they must be erosion proof. Of course, they must be wear proof. And as you can see, we have 2 pads on the knees. We need to protect some of our key body parts. For Wu Hongying, I would love to introduce more. He's more than just a usual member of the scientific investigation team. I heard you found this sinkhole. I found something in the map. Furthermore, I invited Professor Zhang Yuhai here to have some on-site confirmation, and then we explored this new sinkhole. What means do you resort to? I use a satellite map added by the drones, taking some videos to make a conclusion about the new sinkholes. I heard you found some more. Many famous sinkholes in China were found by you, right? For example, with Professor Zhang, we found Hanzhong sinkhole families, Napo sinkhole families, and Solye sinkhole clusters. We found those sinkholes through the satellite-based maps. How many years have been working in this field? Starting from 2007, so that's about 15 years experience. And what's your expectation for Shenying sinkhole? If we can go to the bottom, we intend to find some new herbs and species. Also, there is something new here, never seen before. For example, some bamboos and a blue-colored bird were found at the bottom of Shenying sinkhole, and we were still curious about the species of them. Okay, thank you. We are looking forward to the results of your investigation. And now please follow my steps downward. Today, we have also invited Professor Huang from the Karst Research Institute. This is a steep slope, so please mind your steps. Mr. Huang, could you please introduce about the composition of your investigation team? Where do they come from? They come from the karst landform discipline and the animal studies and historians. And some of our experts are from the field of the herbal taxonomy and so on. So they cover like the animal species, the herbal species, the karst landforms, and so on. Yes. In addition to our experts, we also have 2 expedition teams composed of 24 members. They were divided into several groups. So as to explore more about the underground water. From the downstream to the upstream, they could have a whole picture about the overall landform over there. We also have aerial photo taking to map out the overall situation. This way, please. We would get some measurements of the sinkholes with a series of parameters. We have some standards for the measurements, of course. That belongs to an integral part of their work. Even though this sinkhole has been found late compared to the others, the sinkhole was found within a small scope of an underground water. Usually sinkholes develop in big systems of underground water, but this sinkhole was developed within a scope of less than 20 square kilometers. For such a small-sized underground water to develop the big sinkhole, it's really mysterious. So that could explain some evolvement process of the sinkholes. It disrupts some of our traditional thoughts. I heard it may unveil a new family of sinkholes just in that one underground water. Yes, indeed. In the surroundings, there were some suspected sinkholes, and in these days, you must have been exploring and measuring the other sinkholes in the surroundings. So if you could decide that the other sinkholes are the standardized sinkholes, then for this underground water, we could prove that it gave birth to the entire family of sinkholes, and it belongs to an entirely different underground water systems from before. Now we have been down, and our CMG reporter Liang Ying has been well equipped. He will go downhill by holding onto this rope, and now I will pass the microphone to you, Mr. Liang. I will be one of the first batch of reporters today to go downhill. Later on, I will go down for about 45 meters, and I will give you the live streaming over there on a cliff. Our investigators have been already down, and they are doing their work right now. So let's cut the chase, and I will go down right now. Can I cling to this rope? Yes.
没事，你先下，我 OK。好。
I'm ready now.
2个人对吧？好。没事，你先下。好。我们看到，其实现在这边还很滑，因为就昨天下过了一阵
It's
这个
still
大暴
slippery
雨，
here
所以现在
because there was
我们这一段路土质非常的松，所以我们在下降过程当中会发现，不断的还是有这些泥土
and
松下
the
去。
mud here is very soft, so it's very slippery.
OK。这个绳不会把它，但是它会不会绕着我的绳？好，要不你先下，还是我先过？ 然后最好是先把保障安全的把牛尾挂上来。OK。回这。好，来你先。开始。好。这边还没吃上力。对。哇，松了一下，好了。绕开这根绳。这个我们现在在过这个位置，相当于是在过这个锚点了，因为每一节需要不能随时下降的话，我们都需要有那样的锚点来过渡。所以
We need some anchor point because we cannot go
我也让我这个
straight down all the way. So we need some support at certain segments.
其实我们在下降的过程当中会可能有穿越好几个这样的锚点，然后
When we are going
现在可能
down,
看到的这个是我
we
们一
need
个下降
several
器
of those anchors.
用于安全匀速的下降的。
And
但是之前都
this
是经过了
equipment
一些
is
相关
used
的培训，
for
然
the
后
downward
接下
journey
来
with average speed. Of course, for us to operate those equipment, we need certain training.
OK。好，好嘞，没问题。好。好。 收着。
脚上去往上放，那个是身体对的。不用手，继续放，我已经刻好的了。那个脚右脚撑到那边去，打开一点那个脚。放到这个位置，继续向上。再做。不用手，再放。
已经放动了，已经受力了。好。好。这块长牛尾了。
不用。
确定。好，我在这边手里了。好，没问题。行。我把这个收一下。OK， 好。
做下去啊。
好。
这一脚。
然后这个是。
看一眼。
好，我可以看一下，上面就是我们要最后一个水底下的高度。
Now let's look down.
上面还有一个
This is the vertical
那
view.
个锚点。好的。
And over there, there is another anchor point.
这个要非常的使劲把它绕过来。没事，我可以。哇，我现在已经满身汗了。处理的时候，这一个确定。这地方需要用到长牛尾吗？
不用。
好。那这时候短牛尾已经好了。
完事了。
好，准备接短牛尾。
这个不用抓准，你现在是安全的，已经锁了。
OK。
现在绷起来接短牛尾。
这个要抓着吗？
对，你可以拉上去。
这样子去。好。好。好的。你给我平行的水下去了吗？哇，其实 ，OK， 其实有教练查查在我身边，其实我的没那么紧张。虽然之前经过训练下降过，但是
I am a little nervous,
虽然环境之中
even with my trainer just beside me. I have been trained before, but for me to really go to the nature, downward the hill, it's still frightening.
对的，这根绳没绕开，这根绳在我这个绳里面。
来吃饭，这个拉住，
对，
绕回来，先打水，把水打回去。
好，我用长牛尾再来固定一下是吗？
对，所以这边。
Now I'm fixing the rope.
对。
长牛尾。
没事。
小灯笼。
没事，可以。好。这条长牛尾受力是不是就不太好解啊？我现在是用长牛尾来受力。
对，长牛尾。
这根绳解一下。
那个看看。
好，没事，没事，没事，我还可以。好的。
先别急，先别急。
我要绕开它，是要这样绕开它。
你把那根绳子离开。
好。好，这样就可以了。好，没事，过来。
出来。
好。哦。这为了安全起见，我觉得我这手
Don't go down too quick.
这边先把这根绳绕一下。
And for safety purpose, I still have to tighten my rope.
好，走。
膝盖可以稍微绷直一点。
啊，我还勾了根疼。
Straighten your knee right now.
脚抬一下，它就会上。
好。好。
就有更长。
还往下降。
我们就到悬空的锚点。
Do I have to go down further?
现在还不是悬空的锚点。
脚像走路一样，一直脚上。
Step your 2 feet consecutively, just like when you're walking. Find your balance with your 2 legs spread out.
Oh. 那现在我们要到的就是完全悬空的这个点了，是吧？
是的。
好。
看看脚有没有空住绳子。
空住。
空住了，把脚抬起来，把绳子理住。脚抬高一点。
好。其实在空中很多动作都不太好做。
A lot of movements are limited here since I am now hovering in the air.
哎呀！我要把它穿过我的鞋。这个在陆地上看似很简单的事儿。
I am now rolling the rope around my boots. It seems like a very simple move on the land, but it's difficult to handle in the air.
我感觉我脚都要抽筋了。好，
手放松，你的手开一点。
I'm having a spasm of my leg.
没事。我现在已经是到了最后一个垂直悬崖的锚点了。先把这个。
I am now at the last anchor point.
再我确认一下会不会跟我这个打架。
哎，不用放到右手，就放在中间。
中间。好。哦，从这个镜头可以看，这就是以后我们可能要去看的洞穴。然后。
From where I am standing, I could see the scenery down. That's where we are heading for. I'm all sweaty right now.
这个想办法。
用你的手伸，用你的手伸。
哦。对。然后这边会用到我们的这个脚蹬绳，因为这会儿这边还是要手脚并用的。
At this point, I have to use my hands and my feet all together.
没有，没错，没错，没错。刚才怎么用的呢？给大家解释一下啊。这个啊，手这上面，对吧？对。 因为现在我们所有设备是在这个上面，然后所以这边会很紧嘛。然后现在把设备放在这。
I have to hold on this rope. This rope will carry all of my weight. And I have to use my strength from the waist.
绷住，这个受力给松开。哎呀，差一点。
I have to hold on tightly to this rope. Let me try again.
OK 了。OK。
这会儿你就是全程听得下重了，在这个过程中，千万不要离开。
明白。右手敲门，然后这时候我就把手放到我的。
Do not lose your right hand.
速度不用太快啊，匀速下降就行，不用紧。
Don't go too fast.
两只手都拿着那个下端的手。
下端什么？没事，我就做这一端。
Hold on to the lower end of this rope with your two
觉得
hands.
我还是有点信心的。
I'm confident
然后给
right
大家看
now.
一下外面，是这样子的，下面悬空的。
See what's below me.
啊
I'm completely in the air.
刚才过锚点捡牛尾其实费了我很大的力气啊，不过还好，就这里是有受力。对，对，
Just now at those anchor points, I consumed most of my energy.
走。
Now let's go.
这个速降感觉还是不错的。
It feels good to go down.
是因为我是新手，所以我觉得我还是要控制这个速降的这个速度。所以我觉得我还是
Since I am new, I have to control the speed.
再缓着点。好。好，那一块是。
Let's go together.
这个，放在右手边。
没事，没事，不好意思。转过来。
帮他拉一下那个，你牵一下他。往这边这边。
Help him now.
我包包有点，先别上。
没事。
好了，可以了。
好，慢点，慢点，慢点，慢点，对对。我觉得等我下着地先。
你稍微把它拉过去一丢丢。
Go slowly.
再这样。
Wait for me to land.
这棵树，
你的右脚，你的右。
你拉我一下，让我把身转过来。
你的右脚。对，好了。
What about the tree? Never
再
mind.
降一点了，再降一点。你不管那个树了。
等一下。
Go down a little bit more.
先下降。
脚踩到地下，嘴脚踩到地下。
那你再降一小，降一点点，一丢丢。好，往上拿好点。
你把你的
对。
打过来。
现在我用我的手上。
用手先抓住。
对。冲了！这是指望
I
我
did
的
it.
速降。
I'm gonna move horizontally. Our photographer is already waiting for me.
这么细，别紧，这个只是起一个保护作用。好，感谢。哦，
Thank
我们
you.
现在就来到了我们即将要去进行科考探索的一个洞口。我们为什么说探坑要先探
Now
洞呢？
am
是因为
at the entrance of a hole
整个
for
天空的
scientific
形成呢
investigation. Why are we
最早就是因为
exploring this hole?
地下河流
Because the
淌
formation of
所
the
形成的这
sinkhole
个溶洞，
starts from the underground water flow, and the water flow
天坑
creates
是怎
such
么演
holes.
变而来的？所以一般来说，第一步都是
For us to trace to the origin of the sinkholes, usually we have to start
我开始
from
拿着
the
话筒
holes.
我有点慌啊。
I have to hold the mic all the way. I'm a little bit nervous.
因为在我之前呢，我们的摄像和科考队员、地调局、龙岩所的张工已经，
Our investigators
哎，我已经看到张工了。
have already
张
been
工，我也
here.
来了，张工。
Mr. Zhang Feng is here. I see him. Wait for me.
然后到这儿，其实从刚刚的镜头，我们应该也大概看到了如果下降的这个洞口。那在此之前呢，我也大概了解了一下，实际上我们现在所看到这个洞呢，应该是比较早
According
期
to my knowledge,
地下河所形成的这样一个这样一
this
个洞。
hole was formed in the early
经
days.
过专家测量呢，它这个洞，它的洞高大概是37米，
According to the experts' measurement, this hole is about 37 meters high. The width is
往里去，整
about
个洞的深度大概
55 meters.
40
If we go
40
further deep into the hole, then we will have to walk for about 40 to 50 meters long.
那其实我们能够看到，他们现在已经开始在进行这样一个科考的工作了。
The
我看您这是在
members of the scientific investigation team have already been here working. What are you looking for, Mr. Zhang? The soil, or mud, or stone?
在这个
I'm lucky to find something
其实我们在
underground.
比如说河边啊，
This is
海
a
边啊
stone.
都能够看到像这样的圆圆的鹅卵石，对吧？
We could
那如果
find
是它出现在咱们
such
这个洞里
round-shaped
那会有什么不同呢？
pebbles on the beach or along the riverside, so what's special about it to appear in the hole? It's very round in shape,
也就是说，这个石头本身不是
which means the stone must have been carried for a very long way to grind it so round. Now let's knock it.
一榔头下去
你看，
就知道结果了。
现在我们看到的话，它应该不是
With
石灰
just
岩
one hammer, we would know the result.
我稍微验证一下，我这是盐酸，你看它没有反应，对，所以的话，它这
And I am now pouring
那个方向看
the
哦，
alkaline
这在盐酸。
here.
对我是带的一个盐
Now
酸，
let's
这是我们
have a
地质
closer
人员
look.
在外面必备的，这样它是没有反应的。
对，我们去初高中做化学实验的时候，
So
但如果说我们拿一个石灰岩的
you
话，
are
你看它的反应
carrying
是非常强
the
的，
哦，对对对对
hydrochloric
这是二
acid.
氧化氮
Yes.
就是等于就释放出来。
对对，变成碳酸钙了。
对
And you see,
它
no
它有个反应
response,
了
which means this must not be the limestone, because limestone will
石
have
灰
a
岩是这里
strong
的，
chemical
但是
response
这
to
个
the
我
acid.
属于这个地方的，那一定是外面搬进来的。
So that
那
is
就是说我
limestone.
们可以找到，这可能是一条古老的
And
地下河道。那么它从哪里搬进
This
来
stone
的？
must have been carried from other places,
然后取了一些
and
卵
this
石样，我要回去
hole
做物理
must
的
have
分
been
析
a channel
来找
for
到
very
它。
ancient
另外的话，我
underground
们取了
water.
这里面
I will
的
take
粘
the
土
stone
黄
back
粘土
for
对
more
这里面
studies
粘
to
土的话，我
find
们会
where
在
it
里
came
面找到
from.
古老的，比方说包子，就是我
And
们做
here
包
I
子
collected
这样
some
子的话，我
clays.
们知道
From
它
the
究竟是来
clay,
自于什么年代的。
we will
有
do
可
some
能
other
100万年、200
experiments
万
to
年，也可能
see
1000万年前。
which
那么它
year
形
was
成的
this
这个包子
clay
在这
from,
这样
maybe
子的话，
10
就
million
我们
years
可以
ago.
就是说辨别
There
这
will
个地
be
下
some
河
signs
形成的这个年代，
in
这
the
样我们更好
clay,
地判断天坑
and
的形成
they will
是
help
不
us
是
to
还是说在
define
地
the
下河
years
形成
where
的
this
还是
underground
开始
water
而且我
was
们在这个
formed
还发
and
现一个
the
特点，就是说它
sinkhole
底下是粘土，
alike.
上面是卵石，
Another
然后
thing we
变成了
find out
交
is
接
that
的 这个石头，
We could see the
交接的
pebbles
它没那么磨圆，我们
and the
看动力
clay.
哦，你看这动力其实很明显
啊，非常明显。
不同的
And
颜
those
色
stones, as you can see,
对，
have different
它就
colors.
它没有磨圆了，对不对？这是磨圆的，磨圆它是长距离搬运的。
They are
它
not
没有磨
very
圆的话
round in
它可
shape,
能就是洪水进来的，很短的距离进来的。这样子的话，后期
which
然后
means
地下河消失了
there must have
往
been a
下
flood,
面去了，所以的话
flushing the stones,
就开始交接它。
and then the underground water go further down,
上呢，我看今
and
天
the
来好几
stones
个老
start
队
to
员慢点慢点
look
慢
like
点
this.
因为这2天下过雨，所以好像
Let's move upward. There have been some rains in the past days, so the clay is very loose.
稍等一下，我得把我这样子给解一下。
So let's move upward to look at the stones. Please wait a moment. I will untie myself because it's safer in the hole.
我们这儿上去一下。好，等我一下。因为在洞穴里面，我们的行动也还比较缓慢。啊，这些都是粘土。
Those are the clay.
水动力由平缓到这个激烈。
It reflects the dynamics of the water. There must have been fierce water flow. And in front of us,
这些就是崩塌，你看。
we could see some clues on the
你会
stone.
看到这些都是一个个都大石块，一块儿
A
大石
crack
块
here. With our camera, we could see the big stones standing over there. These stones must have formed in the later days. They are irregular. And we see no signs of water flushing.
可以几分钟走。建房子需要木头、砖头或者是混凝土。那么
For us
形
to
成一个天
build
坑的话，
an architecture, we need bricks, cement, or wood.
要支撑起
For
来
a，
它
sinkhole
也
to
需要
come into being,
砖、木或者是混凝土。
we also need support, for example, from wood, cement, or
就让
bricks.
我们看看这个石灰岩里
So there must be such a supportive structure. Usually, that structure is the limestone. Now let's see what's in the limestone.
我们这，哇，哎呀，挺这的视角哈。
I know it's tiresome to do this job, but at this point, you could have a completely refreshing
先
experience.
上剪先聊一聊，因为我们的摄像
Take it slow.
他还携带着设备，
Let's talk over here because
能上来吗？
our photographer is carrying the heavy equipment.
这一块
Let's wait for him.
大石头就崩塌下来就大石头。
所以在过去形成天坑的时候，我们也可以想象一下，也有这么大的石头是崩塌下来的。但是呢，天坑
Imagine there used to be such a big stone,
水动力的作用，就是水溶式搬运
and then
它带走。
the stones under the sinkhole were gone. Why?
然后让它
The
崩塌
water
入地
took
表
it away.
但是呢，它又
The
留下了这
underground
么一个大的
water
洞穴
emptied the
所以的
bottom
话
of
这
the
就是石
sinkholes.
灰岩的一个非
But
常有
such
意
a
思
big
的
hole is left
现
behind.
象，就是可溶岩。
That's an interesting thing about the limestone.
熔岩是偏地质方面对吧？
岩溶，
啊对，
岩溶，
岩溶对。
You focuses on the karst geology, yes.
以及这边的这样一些，
For the stone, the clay,
就这些方面，所以
and the
咱们天
structure
文科考的第一
of
步
the
就
stones,
通过确
that's
定这个
your
那么
province.
确定这个我们的
Yes.
目的是
So the first step
我们
for
确
the
定这
sinkhole
个的话，就是
investigation
要
is
找
to
到
determine
天坑
about those
形成的
geology.
这
So
它
what's
什
the
么时候形
target?
成的我们要找出它年龄。
We must
它怎么
find
形成的？所以
evidence
的话，
of
我
the
们现在找到了
formation
嘛
of sinkholes.
这
We
边
must
有
know
河
the
流从这里经过。
age of
那
the
另外的话
sinkhole.
它有
So
这
now
个
we
洞穴
find the
现在这个
pebbles
高
to
度也比较
prove
高，所以
the
的话
water
就是
flow
形
once
成这个
passing by.
天坑的
And
这个
since
地
we are
下
now
河
standing at a
非常的古老。
very
这
high
样子慢慢
point,
才会
we
演化
could
成
see the ancient
而且这
water
个天坑的这个高度
system
是目前
underground, which is very ancient, and that water system supports the formation of the sinkhole. For Shenying Sinkhole, it's one of the tallest
对我们的摄像头可以
sinkholes,
慢慢
and
地慢慢地
also
摇
this
出这
hole
个洞
is the
口啊
tallest
到我们的
one.
对面
So let's have a bigger
它过去的
picture
是在地下
about this
它崩
hole.
塌了之后把地下河堵住了，那地下河不是改造，
Previously,
它一定
sinkholes
会在
were
它的绝
underground.
壁的或者是
They
留下一个
block
洞，洞里面留下堆积
the
物，或者
underground
是留下
water,
一些
so the
这些
underground
证据
water have to flow
因为
from
的确
other
我们的科
ways,
考学这个是
and there
这个
must have
这个
been some
进步，而
evidence
且我
for
们
the
知道其实
changes.
在此之前也有不同的
That's the first step of the scientific investigation, and before that,
坑底的这个植物
some other investigation teams have been here to study the herbs, animals
我们今天
under
这个溶洞
the holes,
这个溶洞的这个
and
直播
for
就暂时先
this
到这里。
hole,
我们接下来呢，把这个时间交回给
that's
在我
all
们
for
溶洞
the
上
live
方的
streaming.
王杰。那么接下来呢，
Now let's give the
指导队员
microphone
他
back
将在
to
这个
Wang
溶洞
Jie,
里面对
our
这个溶洞
reporter
的一些具体的细节
over
做
the
进一步的
land.
科考。
And later on, the investigators and scientists will do more detailed studies over here. Now back to you. Thank you, Liang Ye, for bringing us the live report together with the karst expert in the cave. And with their communication, we learned something about the formation of sinkholes and the history of the planet. I have to say that the sinkholes are just existing here. No matter whether we walk into the sinkholes, they are residing here to tell the stories of the planet billions of years ago. And for every particle of the clay and every flower here in the sinkholes, they tell the stories about what happened here millions of years ago. In the next few days, we're going to continue our journey by following the experts of animals, herbs, and geology to study more about the sinkholes from multiple dimensions. And the CMG will continue such series of reports. Tomorrow, we're going to follow the herbal experts to go to the original and primitive forest in the sinkholes to learn more about the herbs in the sinkholes. So see you tomorrow.